So I'm talking about data warehouse, right? What is a warehouse? Warehouse is a place where we are going to say, where we are going to collect everything to a single place. If I say, these supermarket people frequently use this word, something like warehouse. Our inventory is there at so and so place, so we need to get the products from there to the distributing place. Like, uh, there are many branches of DMart available in Hyderabad, right? At each and every location, for each and every 4 to 5 kilometers, we have one unit of data. I mean, this what DMart. So they do get their products from the warehouse, because warehouse is the place where they save, where they keep everything. So they collect everything to the warehouse. From warehouse, they will ship the units of the products as per the demand. For example, in Kauri Hills, the demand for specific products are very limited. Then they won't ship more amount or more number of units to that particular point. Likewise, uh, not only supermarkets, we consider any of the business, they do collect all the data to a single place, so that they able to monitor their things pretty much easily. Say suppose I scattered my books around 10 to 11 shelves, then it is pretty much difficult for me, like in which shelf which book I do kept, right? Instead, if I arrange them in an order and keep them in a single unit of rack, then it is pretty much easy for me to locate the book and also to know what are all the books do I have, right? In a similar way, for each and every business, either it is a banking sector, or it is a healthcare, whatever may be the domain, marketing, retail, anything you consider, or schools, what they do is they'll keep all their information at a single place. That single place we call as warehouse. If we save the data in a single place, that we call as data warehouse. So why we need a data warehouse for a business is, it is not specific to software company, it is something related to business. So let's consider a very simple example, like selling a milks to milk packets to gated community. Say suppose in our locality there is a gated community which is having around 100 uh, flats, and a milk distributor is only one for the whole block. So there is a demand of 2 packets for some of the flats, and 3 packets for some of the flats, and 1 packet for some of the flats. Then what milk distributor will do, on an average he'll consider 2 packets for each flat, and he can calculate, okay, daily I do want 200 milk packets. So since he know that 200, he'll ask the same from the milk distributor, whether that is a heritage or that is a country delight or whatever, its form, whatever it may be. So what they do, he will take, he'll go to the distributor. Say suppose the consumers are consuming different packets from the milk distributor. Then what he do, he'll ask from sits form, I want only 50 packets from you, because only 50 demand is there, and the other 150 he might go to a Vijaya or the existing milk distributors, Vijaya or this heritage. Okay. Likewise, he is assessing the customer's need. So, and also at the same time, he is assessing the demand also. Two things he are looking for. One is what they need and how much they need. Both the things he is calculating, and then he is also buying the same thing. Again, there might be a chances, like sometimes we might need more number of packets. So at his, at his shop, he's going to maintain some more milk packets, say around 20 or 30 per day. Then what happens? 200 packets will be distributed and 30 packets will be retained with him for the whole day to buy to the people who are coming to the shop. Okay. Since it is a very small thing and we can able to calculate both demand and the other things, we can easily assess the calculations, or we can easily analyze the business. Say suppose he do have some function, I mean his customer do have some function, then they might need more packets, right? But that need to be pre-intimated. That is what we call as on demand. So say suppose we are getting some on demand request, then what we do, he is going to request more number of packets only for that particular day. But you think of the same situation with a Flipkart or with an Amazon kind of market. So their demands are something like sales days, and also like there is some festival days. Likewise, in these days they do get more number of uh, demand. But the products also should maintain at very large scale, because their customers are not specific to a single building. Their customers are spreaded all over the, if it is a Flipkart, it is all over the country. If it is an Amazon, then the customers are distributed all over the globe. So they need to consider, if it is an Amazon, they need to consider the locality, the region, a country, and then their festivals. The local things also should be analyzed. Apart from these things, see, if it is something in the country, like in India, the mode of or the pattern of uh, cloth need is something different, which when we compare with the other countries, in the similar way, the products that we consume are different than the other countries are consuming. And the market demand means, in India, from Amazon, if we buy a fridge, that will cost something, but the same fridge, if it is selling in US, that might cost another demand. That depends on the market trends, like how the market standards are there. Again, they need to consider the whether it is rupee unit or USD unit or Australian dollar units or something like that. They need to analyze many factors just to buy the things. And it is not a single person who can handle this crowd. So this is only for selling and buying. But before selling and buying, they need to plan their business, right? So how many things should I buy from the distributors, and how many things should I need to ship to the particular area? Say suppose there are many areas where if we buy something, the delivery will happen in one single day. But sometimes it will take around 5 days, 6 days. Why? Because the actual store or the actual warehouse is located far away from the person who has actually bought the product, right? So when we are thinking about a large scale business, maintaining those things are pretty much difficult. So to make that easy, or to make that effective, or to make some sort of decision on their business, either for their growth or for their best implementation or for their new plans, for all these things, they need to have clear cut idea on their business. So this year, what is my profit, or this month, what is my profit, when I consolidate all my globally markets, or to the specific area, what is my loss or profit. Even though I'm getting profits in India, my business is at loss in US. So I need to more work on US region. So to draw some sort of decision, first they need to have the best idea on their business, right? So to get the best idea, they need to do analysis on their business, how the trends so far, how it is been modified, why it is been modified, where it is been modified. So all these things need to be analyzed. How we can able to analyze? If it is in 1980s or 1990s, we do the same thing on papers, because that time the people are limited, the business is limited, and the technology is also limited. If it is 2000 or 20th century, there what happened? Technology has grown, people usage is grown, and even the customers are grown. So everything everywhere we see the things are coming in very large scale, and we are generating large amounts of data. See, suppose take my example. If I start my day, I'll almost check my Instagram or WhatsApp or emails or my local images. All these are my own data only, personal data. But my personal data being analyzing by my telecommunications or the apps that I installed on my mobile. So why they are trying to analyze my data means they would like to grow. So they are going to analyze our data. Based on the analysis, they are coming up with the new plans which are uh, going to something like a win-win kind of business is going to happen. Some business is going to be come into profits when there is a win-win case. Win-win case means both the parties should win, or both the parties should get benefit. Then only that business is going to sustain over there. But to come up with that, the more proactive steps are being taken care by the business only. Say suppose uh, Reliance is there. Initially, Reliance Jio did not have a great impact on the customers, but later everyone are shifting to the Jio only, because they have taken certain measures to fill the gap which is been happened. But how they can do that one? Only after analyzing the customer's sense of need. Or what they are doing? They are analyzing customers' data. How they are doing? Using softwares. Because uh, with the increase in the people, or with the increase in the need, the technology also increased in an advanced way. So they are making use of these technologies and they are trying to give the best decision for their business. Okay, for doing all this data analysis or for coming up the decisions, the decision is taken care by the CEOs or some higher authorities that are there in a particular business, but the data analysis part is there, right? That part is something which is taken care by IT people or whatever we call now the software people. Okay, not only the data analysis, to come up with the data analysis, first and foremost need is we need to have correct data, right? Until unless we do not have correct data, we could not able to assess it. See, if we do have a wrong data, then the analysis or the assessment is also going to be wrong, right? So it is also a must. Before taking the data analysis part, we must have correct data and a convenient place where we can able to get everything at a single place. That's why each and every business need a warehouse where they are going to save very clean and quality data which is related to their own business. So that's what warehousing is. Here, if you see the data definition, data warehousing involves collecting, storing, and managing the data from different sources to support business intelligence and decision making. That is what we call as warehousing. Hope it is pretty much understandable. Please let me know if you still do not understand what is warehouse. So, warehouse is a place where we are going to collect the data, save the data, and also manage the data. Why we do need all these things? To support business intelligence people for making clear cut decisions on their business. Business can be a banking, business can be a healthcare, business can be a marketing and sales, business can be some anything. So these things we call as domain. Okay, so while HR people coming to you, they might ask, do you have experience in healthcare domain? That means they are uh, asking us, have we get a chance to look into that particular data? That means have we ever supported a healthcare related project? So you might heard of all these things, right? The people who are working, they are telling our client is British America, I mean, Bank of America, or our client is JPMC, or our client is I mean HSBC, or UHG, or something like that, right? So HSBC is a banking, JPMC is a banking, Bank of America is a bank. So if we work on for these clients, we'll get to understand how the data is available for a banking sector. So that means we have worked for banking domain. Say suppose we are working for United Health Group. That is a healthcare domain. Then the data is something related to healthcare only. Patients data or insurance claims data, or else we are going to get member policy or family policy, or what are the plans that are available, which particular plan that they have chosen, what is the disease that is being claimed for this particular insurance claim. All these kind of terminology will come in healthcare domain. If we are working in a banking domain, what are all the credit card plans, or what are all the savings account in a particular region, or how many branches that are available in this particular area for this particular branch, what is the customer range, or what are all the employees which are available in this particular location. Likewise, all the details related to bank will available in a banking domain project. So that's the reason, if someone who already know their terminology, then the recruiter is much more interested in that particular profile. Say, suppose I do have requirement where my client is some banking client, then I am more interested in the candidate profile where the banking domain is already involved, so that they are pretty much familiar to the terminology and they can easily merge into the existing team, right? So that's the reason sometimes HR people will ask, what are all the domains that you have seen so far in your projects? That is what domain is. So so far we have discussed two things. One is what is warehouse and what is business, why we need warehouse. Second thing is domain part. Let's go some more deeper. Like, these warehouses will place very crucial role because they are the base for their business, right? And the people who are going to do these things, so you know Hadoop, you might have heard of these things. Hadoop or big data ecosystem, HDFS, MapReduce, all these things are something related to big data. So when data is increasing in a fast pace, that time the existed tools or technologies which are available in the market could not able to suffice. Like they are giving so much of uh, they are not enough, they are not good enough to handle very huge data. That's where big data come into picture, where a concept is little different. So we call these databases, the traditional databases or the initial databases, are something like mainframe system. Mainframe is also an IBM product. So where we are going to save the data is being called as database. The place where we are going to save the data is called database. Okay. But we are going to save the data in a structured manner in columns and rows. Let me show you a simple table. So this is a database, Oracle database. This database is owned by Oracle company. That's why this is a Oracle database. Okay. So this is a table, which is table name is employee. Okay. This is the data that is present in employee table. What are all the things that we have? Employee ID, employee name, employee salary, and their department. So these things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, are called rows. Whereas ID, name, salary, department are called as columns. Even in Excel, we can see that. Okay. So see here A, B, C, D, all these things we call as columns. Whereas 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on are called as rows. Okay. When we save the data in columns and rows, which is in a structured pattern, then we call it as a structured data. Okay. To to maintain this structured data, there are many databases available. So the place where we save this structured data is called database. Sometimes we save them even in files, then we call it is a file system. Okay. Say suppose I do have a data in a Excel file, then I can tell them my source is an Excel file. If I save the same data in a TXT file, in a text file, then we call it as a text file is my source. In the similar way, if I save the same data, if I save the same data on a database, then we call it as structured data from a database, Oracle database. They might ask what is the kind of source that you do have used so far in your projects. Okay, so that means they would like to understand our existing experience, whether we do know the databases, whether we have worked on the databases. So there are many providers available for databases. Okay, if it so many providers in the sense, first let me give you the databases name. Few of the databases, like there is DB2, which is IBM owned. There is this Oracle, which is Oracle owned. There is MySQL, which is Microsoft owned. And like Teradata is there, which is Microsoft owned. And now clouds are coming to picture, because post these things, clouds, IBM mainframes is also there. So mainframes is not like this. The interface is something which will come in a black color background. Okay, that is more secured way. So when we are banking and healthcare sector, data is little much secured. Secured in the sense, see, if our bank details are saving somewhere, that means they should not be disclosed to anyone, right? That is pretty much secure data. We should not provide our bank account numbers or our personal details to any of the people. That's why for banking projects, what they do is they will not allow even mobile phones inside the data inventory. data. Sometimes some of the projects also, they will not allow people's mobiles or any other third party like tools, maybe pen drives or all those things are going not allowed in a banking project. Even it is the same with healthcare also, because in healthcare also we are going to have, like, there are some drugs using which there will be adverse effect happen on a patient's I mean on a patient. So likewise, we call all that as PHI or PII data. Okay. So banking and healthcare sectors do maintain this PHI data, where it is pretty much secured, and we should also be in the similar. We should also be very cautious while working with such clients. We could not even open our Gmail over there. We could not send anything outside the company's portal, or we are not going to get anything from outside to our particular emails also. That's how they are going to maintain the security levels. But when we save the things, so here we can only save rows and columns. But say suppose now what we do have, now the data is also coming in pictures, in PDF files, in videos. So all these things we call as unstructured data. Okay, we could not able to save unstructured data in this Oracle developer. For saving these unstructured data, a new set of databases came into picture, which are NoSQL databases. So NoSQL databases can save both structured and unstructured data. So what is structured data? Which is going to have a specific rows and columns which are being defined by schema. So now I have used a new term called schema. What is schema? Here the ID, name, salary, department is there, right? So these things we call as schema. The data which is talking about actual data is called a schema file. Let me show you the complete schema file, how it looks like. So this is how a schema file looks like. It is going to have only the columns or what this data is about. So I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4. What are these 1, 2, 3, 4? These are employee IDs. How we can able to know? By looking into the schema file. And we see apple, banana, cat, doll, like and so on, so right. So these are employee names over here. The salaries for these people are these things, and to which particular department they do related to is something which is adding in the department column. So all these columns, IT, name, salary and department, are called as mm, metadata or schema. Okay, schema file will not have only the names, but apart from names, it also going to have what kind of data is going to be saved in this particular data. Okay, and whether we can pass nulls to this or not, or can we repeat the data over here or not. So all those kind of properties are going to available in a schema file. Do not worry, we are going to talk about on this schema file in detail when we are working on job developments through data stage. Okay, it is just to get an idea, like a structured data is going to have both data and schema file. Schema file, which is something which is talking about the data. So schema is nothing but data about data. Okay. The same schema we also called as metadata and DDL also. Okay. So going back over here, this warehouse nowadays is going to play a crucial role in analyzing both structured and unstructured data. What is unstructured data is uh, photos, videos, JSON files, or some data which is in hierarchical way, that we call as unstructured data. Okay. To save these unstructured data, there are specific databases available. Those kind of databases we call as NoSQL databases, like MongoDB, and there are some other databases. But do not worry, we will not touch this part because data stage could not able to handle unstructured data. Okay. We just need to have a better idea what is it. That's all. So in this slide, you can see the benefits of warehousing. So it is going to facilitate efficient reporting and analysis. How it is going to facilitate efficient reporting and analysis is a warehouse will not save dump data. Dump data in the sense, say suppose there are people from insurance team. w- What they do, they'll connect, they'll collect the information from the customers, asking that, madam, we do have so and so plans. Would you like to make a try on this? Can you share your mobile number or so and so? Say if we go to some shop, maybe Reliance Trends or some DMart or whatever it may be. While billing, they will ask our mobile number, right? Sometimes we'll give, sometimes we will not. So the record, but both the records are going to save at their database. They are going to save the people's data for sure. But sometimes we'll give the mobile number and sometimes we will not. But there is a uh, place where we are saving this customer's data on warehouse. While saving the data from the saving place to warehouse, they will filter the data. So how they are going to filter? I want quality data in the warehouse, because warehouse is the place where we are going to have very clean data. So there they are not going to maintain any wrong data or any dump data. Okay, so they will filter the things. People who did not provide their mobile numbers, they don't want their data, because their, say suppose their requirement is, I would like to send a message to all these people saying that we do have some offers on so and so uh, period of time. To send that one, they would need mobile numbers for sure, right? So if I do have some records where the mobile number is not there, then that is of no use for me, right? Yeah. So that data is going to be filtered from the place where it is saving to the place where we are loading. Okay. Initially, while we are purchasing something, when we ask for some details, they will save their data to a single database. That database is called as transactional database or actual source. Actual source means first place where the data is saving. Okay. And there might be chances that everything is not going to be in the correct format, right? So you know how we are going to write in our rough books and how we are going to write in our actual class notebook, right? We are going to have running notes and we are also going to have class notes. In class notes, what we do, we will copy the same content from our running notes, but in an order, and what is needed, only that part we are going to add over there, right? In the similar way, in warehouse is something like our actual class notes, and actual source database is something like our running notes. Hope this is pretty much correlatable. So try to understand a place where we are going to save direct data or actual data is called as primary source or actual source, and from there we will take it and we will save onto the warehouse. In warehouse, we are not going to save everything, but we will save only the quality data, only the needed data. That's why from warehouse, whatever we do, it is going to give effective or efficient kind of activity that we are going to perform. Say suppose some CEO been asked what is the profit percentage or loss percentage in a particular region. If we do the analysis on the actual source, we are not going to get correct results, because there is many scrap data available in the actual source. That's why we are going to use warehousing. So this is why we call warehousing facilitates efficient reporting and analysis. Okay. And it also provides a consolidated view of the business data. uh, Say suppose my data from actual source decided from multiple databases. Some data is available on paper, some data is available on database, some data is available on Excel sheets. But everything is going to be consolidated and saved at a single place in warehouse. So warehouse, we are going to get everything. Say suppose in a 1 month period of going to school, I have written some running notes on my actual class notes, on my rough book, and on in my running notes. In these three places, I have written running notes for 1 month. Later, I got my actual class book. Then what I do, I'll copy the data from all these three places in an order. So I'll first check on the date and then I'll keep writing from that particular place, right? So it is the same. So warehouse is a place where we are going to have the consolidated view of business data, and the scattered way is something which is available from the actual sources. It supports data driven decision making. What is data driven decision making is, there are two types of decision makings. So now elections been happened, right? I can tell my own choice on the winning party, or someone can tell their own choice on the winning party. So this will come into uh, leading position for this particular tenure. But you know, right, these polling booths, polling analysis. What they do, they actually take samples from each and every voter. So they'll collect the information from the voters and then they are going to tell that from this particular place, this is the winning party. So how they are deciding or how they are making the decision using the data available. Whereas how I am assessing based on my own interest and my own analysis. But I have not gone to each and every place. I have not asked anyone's views or what they voted for. I just told randomly. So when we are making a decision, if that decision been happened with the help of retrieved data, then we call it as data driven decision making. All the times the data driven decision makings are real, uh, I mean those are more accurate when compared to the other decision making ways. That's why, so data warehouse is going to give data driven decision making, which is nothing but uh, it is a correct way of making the decisions and facilitate data analysis. Anyhow, that is doing right. We are going to analyze the data at a single place. Warehouse enables business to derive valuable insights from historical and current data. So in warehouse, we are going to have everything, all the previous business data and the current data on also. So previously the people might more interested in some other products, but now they are more interested in some new products. But that analysis should be there, right? Unless until we do not have that analysis, what we do, it will purchase even the old products also, but they are not going to be sold out because they are outdated. So how we can able to know this is outdated or this is the current trend? By analyzing the historical and current data. Okay, so these are the key purpose or key benefits that we are going to get with the help of warehousing. Key components. So while making the warehousing, there are certain things which are involved. First thing is we need to have source. Source means just now we talked about the actual place where the data been added. That might be a database, that might be files, that might be anything. So those things we call as data sources. But from there, data need to be extracted, data need to be filtered, and then data need to be loaded to the warehouse, right? That process we call as ETL process. ETL is nothing but extraction, transformation, and loading process. So what ETL will do? ETL will pick up the data from the source location and it will apply the transformation. Transformation is nothing but applying the filters, cleaning the data, or so in cleaning also there are certain methods to be followed so that the cleaning activity is fast enough. Say suppose I am cleaning my wardrobe where I do have all my dresses. So kids' dresses will be there, my dresses will be there, or some other dresses will be there, or else extra bed sheets will be there, towels will be there, everything are there, right? So while managing this one or while cleaning this one, how we need to do? We need to segregate the things. All the bed sheets should come to one place, all the towels will come to one place. Likewise, if we segregate them, then it will be easy, right? So all those things we call as cleaning activities or collecting activities. So these things are going to performed in ETL process. So while doing that process, we might need some tools or technologies. In those tools, data stage is one. Hope you understand where data stage is located now. So data stage is also a ETL tool. ETL means what is the purpose of it? It is going to extract the data. It is going to apply the transformations and going to load the data to some place. Okay. So to do all these ETL activities, there are many tools and technologies available in IT or in softwares. So what are all those tools and technologies are? If we do perform the same thing through programming, then C will be language C, you know, right? C language, C++, .NET, Java, Scala, Spark, PySpark, Python, R, all these things are programming languages. We can perform ETL process through a language or through a program that we call as programming language. So many programming languages are there which can able to perform these things. Apart from that, many tools are also there. What is the difference between tool and program is something which is set of instructions given to a compiler, whereas tool is something where we are there is no kind of programming will happen in tools. Instead, there are going to be jobs. So this is data stage environment. Let me show you one simple job how it is going to look like. So this is how our data stage jobs looks like. This is my source, which is an Oracle connector. From there, I'm getting the data. Using remove duplicate stage, I am removing the duplicates and I am saving the data to target file. Okay. So there will not be any coding. If I say something as a coding, here what I need to specify is what is the table that I need to extract. That table name I need to provide. What are all the connection details that I need to provide. While removing the duplicates, how you would like to remove the duplicates on department ID. If department is repeating, then will not allow, only bring the unique departments available in this particular data which is coming from my source, and then save that data to another file. So extracting, applying transformation and loading. All the three things happen in a GUI mode. What we need to do is there will be a palette, and here we need to select the things and we need to drop the things. After dropping, we need to apply the, we need to configure the things, what you want, where it is, what is the table name. So all those things we need to provide. Whereas if it is a program, so here I'm trying to extract some images, and from the images again I am going to extract JPG, JPE, GPNG and TMP kind of images. Then I would like to highlight only the nail part. Okay. So here what I'm doing, I'm giving a set of instructions. So first import this library, then import this library, because in these libraries, again, I do have functions. In these functions, I can make use of that particular function based on my requirement. This is a simple Python program. Okay. Here we need to write the things, whereas here we need to make the things using the tools that are already available. So using program and tools, we can perform ETL activities. So we are trying to learn using tools, because when compared to the program, it is pretty much easier to start our career with when we are not into the picture from the start, because easily we can able to understand, and we can also apply the things. Okay. And in those ETL tools, data stage is one. Apart from data stage, there are many ETL tools which are already available in the market. Okay. So far, any questions? Let me stop.